to your Monday edition of Bet. I'm Anita Marks, and I got Nick Friedell with me today. I'm fresh off the pickleball court. As you can see, my hair is all slicked back. Nick is fresh back from Miami. Dude, you are all over the place, right? Miami, New York. Now you're heading to Boston soon for the Boston Heat series. Nick, how are you doing? You are one of the busiest working men at ESPN right now.
Anita, the fun never stops, and there are so many different levels to what we need to get into today. I'm happy I'm here with you, but let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's start with the Lakers series, right? The Lakers Nuggets, starting with that series, and because I find it fascinating. I think one of the best storylines in the postseason, because this is a Lakers team, the 13th seed they were after the All-Star break. Now, Nick, they are 4 wins away from potentially competing for the NBA Championship. The odds makers, plus 140. That's their odds, plus 140 to win the ship. Do you agree with it or not?
I agree with where the odds makers have it, Anita. I think that the Nuggets are right on time. This is all made for Nikola Jokic to show everybody once and for all right now that he's the best player in the game. How do you get the respect that he wants, that he's seeking, that team has desired for the last few years? You go beat LeBron in the conference finals and go to the NBA finals. So it's all set up for Denver to do it. But I say that as somebody who picked against the Lakers in the first round, picked against the Lakers against the Warriors. I'm picking against them one more time, but they have the momentum to do exactly what they're hoping to do in this series.
I hear you. I agree with you. I think plus 140 is fair, but I'm with you. Now, listen, I picked the Lakers to beat Golden State, but I've been on this Denver Nuggets team since day one the playoffs began. I just don't think enough people in the country, Nick, watch West Coast basketball because it's on so late. I don't think people realize just how good this Nuggets team is, right? Like, to me, they're the most complete team that went into the postseason. Unbeaten at home in the playoffs. They're 6-0, 5-1 against the spread. 34-7 in the regular season at home. So, as we know, the Lakers, they won game 1 in both the series against Memphis and Golden State. I don't see that happening. One would argue Denver has the best, most complete, best offense in the NBA. Defensively, they're somewhere around 13, but they play so cohesively that their defense is actually, in my opinion, a lot better than their individual parts. Last time this Lakers team went up against the Denver Nuggets, it was in the bubble. They had Dwight Howard. AD had more help in defending Jokic, who I feel got robbed of the MVP, and I think he's out to make a statement. In fact, in the postseason, he has already surpassed Wilt Chamberlain with the most triple doubles in the postseason, and I think those continue. So, odds makers, fair that the Lakers are plus 140, but dude, I am all over Denver. Now, let's talk about some of the other ways that you could wager on this series, right? And that is what the exact outcome could be, right? Let's take a look at this. The Denver Nuggets to win in 4, just to sweep 11-1. Lakers obviously better odds because they're not favored to win this series. Winning in 5, winning in 6, winning in 7. You can see on both aisles of the lane, the Lakers, the Nuggets. So with that being said, we're both on the Denver Nuggets side here. How would you hedge your bet in regard to how you think this series is going to end up, Nick?
Anita Marks, I think it's going all the way. It is going to be back and forth and back and forth. But if it's me, I am taking Denver in 7 because I just think they have a little bit more depth, although Rob Pelinka deserves a ton of credit for remaking that roster in LA because that's the reason why they've gotten the momentum they have in the second half. But to me, the safest play here is a very tight series, a series that goes all the way until the end, but Jokic being the difference maker in my eyes makes it Denver in 7.
Yeah, I've got Denver in 6. Again, I just don't believe that they're going to relinquish that home court advantage that they have had, and they've been so spectacular all season long, let alone in the playoffs, 6-0. So I just don't believe the Lakers are going to be able to steal one from Denver on their home court. And I do believe that Denver will be able to win at least one in LA. With that being said, some other fun ways you could wager on this series and others, and that is who's going to be the leading scorer in the series, which we all know, a lot of times the losing team could still have the leading scorer. So let's take a look. Jokic, obviously the favorite at -140. You got LeBron, AD, Murray, D'Angelo Russell, Michael Porter Jr., who turned it on as of late in that previous series against the Suns. Who are you playing here, Nick?
Anita, this is the one I feel most comfortable about. Jokic has been too good to not take out all the money in my wallet and dump it down on him. He's just been awesome. That team goes as he makes them go. He's the reason why they feel like they do going into this series, and offensively, nobody's playing better than he is. So I would go with Jokic. I know that 140 scares some people off, but it wouldn't for me. He's just been too dominant, and I don't believe that the Lakers have what it takes to stop him night after night after night.
Yeah, listen, I don't. The 140. If you're scared, say you're scared. The -140 doesn't scare me. I'm with you. I do believe that Jokic is the player that wins this wager. However, I do believe that there is some value in Jamal Murray. As we know, Jokic is averaging around 30 points a game. Murray's right behind him, about 25. Meanwhile, LeBron, one thing that we've seen so far in the postseason, acting more as a facilitator, more so than the alpha that we've seen AD play. And I do believe that AD is going to have some issues against that Denver Nuggets defense that we saw really derailed Devin Booker, who is just a man possessed in the postseason. So I think you could find some value in Jamal Murray at 6-1. All right, let's take a look at the Eastern Conference. As we know, the Celtics, because you're going to be covering that series, pretty big favorites here. So they were at -600 just a few minutes before we started the show, -520, -525. With that being said, as we know, going up against the Heat, a Heat team that has found lightning in a bottle, beating the Bucks, beating the Knicks. Do you agree with the odds makers here? -525 for this Boston Celtics team.
I agree with him, Anita, but if you are watching this postseason and you've seen what Miami has done, you have to push reality to the side a little bit, because this Miami team was done. It was over. They lost the first play-in game to Atlanta. They were down in the fourth quarter to the Bulls. Their season would have been over, and then boom, playoff Jimmy happens again. You get them through that Milwaukee series. They get through the Knicks pretty easily in 6 games. I believe that this is the Celtics for the taking, and I think the odds are right. But there are a lot of playoff Jimmy believers out there, and when you watch the way that Miami's come together in the last couple weeks, I understand in our case, even in the last hour or so, why the odds have come down a little bit from where they started.
So as we know, the Heat looking to avenge their loss to the Celtics last year. You mentioned Jimmy Butler. He's been otherworldly. Let's call him a superhero. On the season now, 2-2. I like the Heat here, man. I really do. Give me Eric Spoelstra as well. I think he's one of the best head coaches now in the postseason. I know the Celtics are deeper, but dare I say the Heat are playing with more heart. Let's take a look at the exact series prices here that you can wager, right? Like Boston Celtics to win in 5 plus 240. We just saw the graphic that was up, right? To win in 4, to win in 4, to win in 5, to win in 6, as well as to win in 7. I believe that this is going to go the distance, but more importantly, I'm curious, how do you see this playing out?
Anita, I have picked against the Heat the whole way through, and I say that as somebody who loves Jimmy Butler and knows firsthand just how hot he can get. I believe that the Celtics just have too much depth. The Heat's biggest problem, going back to that series against Milwaukee, but even more so against the Knicks, was generating offense. This Celtics team plays defense at an incredibly high level when they want to. They have the ability to switch all over the floor. They're not going to let Jimmy just beat them 4 times. They're going to force somebody else to do it. The point about Eric Spoelstra is well taken. He is an unbelievable coach who can make some really solid in-game adjustments, especially going against Joe Mazzulla in his first postseason. All that is well and good. The Celtics are just better. They have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. To me, it's the Celtics in 6, and I'm still not even sure if it's going to take that long.
There's something, and granted, like, full disclosure, I'm from the 305, born and raised in Miami. It was actually at the Heat draft party, Nick, when they drafted Ronnie Cycli from Syracuse as their first pick ever in franchise history. So, but I'm not drinking the red-orange Kool-Aid. There's something about Jimmy Butler. There's something about this team. I love Eric Spoelstra. I'm going with the Miami Heat in 7, and give that to me at 11-1. Let's talk about the MVP of the NBA Finals, right? So I've been on Jokic again and the Denver Nuggets, as you know, since the beginning. But let's take a look at some of the MVP odds that are out there. Jason Tatum, no surprise, right? Considering his performance yesterday against the 76ers, plus 135. Jokic, plus 250, some pretty good odds right there. LeBron, AD, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler. Looking at this list, who are you going to tap into?
I have believed from the beginning, Anita, that if the Bucks were going to get knocked out, it would be the Celtics. So the whole world's on Tatum. Give me Jaylen Brown. I think the price point is better. I think he's got a legit chance because of the fact that he can put up so many different points on so many different levels of the floor. He's shown it in the finals before. He's not going to get swayed by the moment. I think Brown would be the guy I would throw some money on, only because I believe the Celtics are the best team. And if you believe that the Celtics are going to win it all, there's really only 2 guys that have a legit chance in being that MVP figure. It's Tatum or Brown. I think Brown's the guy.
So, again, Jokic to me is the guy, which, by the way, Nuggets to win the title, plus 240. Jokic to win the MVP, plus 250. So some better odds if you think, Denver wins and Jokic wins the MVP. But very interesting, if you are somebody who believes that the Lakers are going to win the championship, I think you can find value right now in AD because of him playing the way that he got through the previous series. And I think what they're going to need from AD, as I said, LeBron dealing with that ankle issue, more of a facilitator, rebounds as well as assists, big for LeBron right now. But AD, to me, has been the straw that has stirred that drink. So I think you can find some really good value with AD at 8-1. Nick, it's time to play place or pass. Question number 1. Jokic will average triple doubles in the series, and you can get that at plus 130. Place or pass?
Anita, I am placing this one. This dude has been unstoppable. Nobody has the answer for him. Anthony Davis is going to get his chance to show just how good he is, but he has never shown it consistently like Jokic is. I think it's worth the risk. Put the money down. This guy is a freight train, and he is coming to knock out the Lakers next.
Okay, I'm going to pass here just because dude averages a triple-double at home all the time. And like I said, I do believe that they are trying to increase that record that he now has surpassed Wilt Chamberlain in regards to the most triple-doubles in the postseason. But I do believe it's going to be hard for him to do it on the road more so than at home. So I'm going to be playing the triple-double every time Denver is at home, but I just don't see him doing it when he is on the road, especially in LA, as great as defense as they have been playing since the trade deadline. Question number 2, LeBron James averages 25, if not more points, and the Lakers win the series. You can get this at 2-1. Are you placing or are you passing?
I'm passing. And Anita, the reason why is because in this postseason, the Lakers have absolutely needed LeBron, but they haven't needed him offensively the way they might have even a couple years ago. Davis has had some great games. D'Angelo Russell, when he's been on, has been really on. Austin Reeves has given them a boost. So the LeBron days of, he's got to score 30 or 35 for them to have a chance, they're not there. The Lakers can still win the series, and LeBron can still have a huge impact on the game, but offensively, the numbers just don't feel the same as they used to. I'm passing, on top of the fact that while the Lakers have been great in the last couple of months, I still believe that the Nuggets are going to win the series.
Yeah, I'm going to pass as well. I'm expecting Aaron Gordon to be and defend LeBron James. And like I said earlier, he's been more of a facilitator here in the postseason. And not that there's anything wrong with that, right? You know what you get from LeBron James. So I'm going to pass on this as well. Last question for you, place or pass. Any player in the Miami-Boston series scores 50 points or more in a game, and you can get this at 15-1, Nick, 15-1. Are you placing or are you passing?
Oh, Anita, I am placing. Come on now. We've watched too much of Jimmy Buckets and Jason Tatum and even Jaylen Brown to go nuts in a game. I think this one is worth a flyer. You know that it's within these guys, and you know, especially in Miami's case, if they want to win at least a game or two against a really tough Boston team, they're going to need Jimmy to just explode as he has done in the past. I think it's worth it. I think it's going to happen, and I can't believe that it's only 15-1. I think this could be a steal if you feel strongly enough that one of those three guys can make it happen.
I'm with you. I'm playing that. I'm running, not walking. I'm running to the window, Nick. I mean, listen, we saw it yesterday with Tatum. And again, playoff Jimmy. We've been talking about it. Why not? I think that's a really fun bet to make. Nick, this is where we say goodbye. I know you've got to jump on a flight. You're heading to Boston for that series to begin. And I'm sure we'll see you again on Bet really soon, my friend. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Anita.
You got it. Nick Friedell, as always, we like to end Bet with before I let you go. And we've got the second major of the season coming your way, and that is the PGA Championship, which you'll be able to watch all over the ESPN platforms, especially ESPN Plus. So where are we at in regard to the PGA Championship? Well, it takes place right here in my own backyard at Oak Hill Country Club, the East Course. The biggest metric that you want to pay attention to is greens in regulation. Why? A number of players who've won this tournament finish in the top 5 in greens and regulations. The most important tournament. It's a really difficult track for these guys to score well. So how am I playing it? We're going to do two par 3s for you. Par 3s in regard to guys that I think can outright win it. No surprise here. I'm not going out on a limb. I'm talking about Scottie Scheffler. Data Golf gives him a 12% chance of winning. You can get him at plus 750, tied for 10th at the Masters, so you know that he can ball in the majors. 7 of the top guys that have won this tournament finished in the top 15 in the Masters the same year. First in greens in regulation, as well as tee to green and par 4 scoring. And we just saw him finish in the top 5 at the Byron Nelson, which, by the way, I thought he was going to win. Number 2, Jon Rahm. Again, no surprise. You can get him at 8-1. Data Golf gives him a 9% chance of winning this tournament. World number 1 player, 6 wins since October, and second in greens in regulation. Masters winner, so if he does win this tournament, he is one step further that career Grand Slam. So extra motivation there for Jon Rahm. Number 3, a guy who's very near and dear to me. He's one of my favorite players on tour, and that is Tony Finau. Data Golf gives him a 4.5 chance of winning this tournament. You can get him at 25-1. He's got 4 wins on tour since July. Looking for his first major, top 15 in greens and regulation. Again, a really important metric. He won in Mexico. He's good on Donald Ross courses. This is a Donald Ross course designed in 1925. And he is 11th in the world. So give me some Tony Finau as a long shot at 25-1. Some other plays that I like heading into this tournament, top 10. Give me Cantlay. Why not? 8th in greens and regulation. He has taken Tiger's caddy, Joe LaCava. He'll be on his bag. He was great at the Masters and 4th in the world. He just needs to play a little bit faster. I'm sure other golfers would agree. Give me top 20, Terrell Hatton. Why not? Top 5 at the Byron Nelson, 64 on Sunday. So hopefully he picks up where he left off coming in. finished second at the Players, tied for 13th at Southern Hills, who hosted this tournament last year, and 9 of the last 10 winners finished top 20 in the previous PGA Championship. So he checks a lot of the boxes. And last but not least, give me Wyndham Clark to finish in the top 20. You can get that at plus 230. He is a guy who can grip it and rip it, one of the longest drivers on tour, 7 of the last 10 winners, ranked 30th in driving distance. He's 9th this season on tour. He won the Wells Fargo's not too long ago. 6 of the last 10 winners had already won on tour prior to the PGA Championship, and his game is looking great. So again, we've given you 3 guys that potentially could win this bad boy, and also 3 of my favorite plays to finish, of course, in the top 10, top 20 as well. I want to thank Nick Friedell, who joined us on the program. Guys, it is going to be fun. Eastern Conference, Western Conference Championship, and we will be here for all of it. So make sure you tune in to Bet. We'll be back with you on Wednesday as well. We'll see you then.